Samadhi. As always, we will do the prayer and let's sit upright, place our palms together, and concentrate on the prayer below. We take refuge with our calm mental being. We take refuge with Shakyamuni Buddha. We take refuge with all the pillars of the 10 directions and the 3 periods of time. Verse for Panya Sutra, the surpassed, profound, and wonderful Dhamma in hundreds of millions of years is difficult to encounter. We now see and hear it, receive and behold it, and we vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning, and we vow to practice the Tathagata's true way, and we vow to attain the Tathagata's true state. We vow that we can spontaneously express the Buddha's understanding, Buddha's view, Buddha's wisdom, Buddha's merit and virtue, Buddha's capability, and Buddha's state through our actions, speech, and thoughts. We also vow that all living beings can enter into the Buddha's understanding, Buddha's view, Buddha's wisdom, Buddha's merit and virtue, Buddha's capability, and Buddha's state owing to us. So that's the prayer for today's lecture. And yesterday we've learned, I've learned, and what's the way, and in Descartes, then Descartes' most famous treatise. What did he wrote? Okay, let's go ahead with the video. Listen to it.
To doubt. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts. Likewise, in the causes and even everything can be called into doubt. Treatise. At the beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts. At the beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts. At the beginning.
Yeah, who would like to read it and then recite it, please? Read it.
Okay. I would like to try. I would like to read it and then recite it.
Yeah, please, Daisy.
At the beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts.
Wow. Recite it, please.
Okay. At the beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts.
Genius. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, who would like to try more? How about you, Grace? I'll play it for you. Okay.
Of his most famous treatise. At the beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts.
Yes, read it, please.
Yes. At the beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts.
Yes, could you try to recite it?
Yeah, okay. At the beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, you achieved it. Thank you. How about you, Joy? How are you, Joy? Happy New Year.
Okay.
Yeah, read it. I think you can handle it. Okay.
Okay.
Read it and
At
then
the
recite.
beginning At the beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts. Now let me recite it.
Yes, please.
At the beginning of his most famous treatise, he wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses, even doubt his thought.
Yeah, almost. And he can doubt his and even his thoughts. Yeah, that's it. That's correct. How about you, Jing? Would you like to read it? 吴静，您方便读一读吗？
我来试一下。
放一下你题。
好的。
Beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts.
Yes, please.
At the beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes writes that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his sins and even his thoughts.
Yes, perfect. 这个复数怎么读？这个复数
senses.
Yeah, senses. Yes. Perfect. And right 的过去式怎么读
？Right, wrong.
Yes, perfect. You did so well. Yeah, 非常的
这个是发的什么音？doubt 是 o 还是 o？
它这个录音里面发 doubt 那种感觉，但是我们就是音标上放 doubt。的，对，有可能是他自己有自己的音吧，自己有自己的口音在里面。你看一下
doubt.
doubt. Okay. So that's it. Let's go ahead with our new sentence. Yeah, today we will go to sentence 91. Likewise in the kalama, 或者读 kalama. Likewise in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all of their content of one's mind and senses. So here, okay, content, what does it mean? Content, what does it mean? I will check it out for you. Content 有内容的意思，然后有主题，有含量。I think is 就最基本的事情嘛，内容。Okay, now let's go ahead with the video and look at the sentence, the new sentence, okay?
At the beginning of his most famous treatise, Descartes wrote that almost everything can be called into doubt. He can doubt his senses and even his thoughts. Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all the content of one's mind and senses. Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all the content of one's mind and senses.
Yeah, in this sentence, the author, I mean that the producer would like to quoted the sutra of our Buddha. So quoted the sutra, Kalama Sutra, from the Buddha. So let's double check. Yeah, there are three. I think there are three, maybe four, But I didn't, yeah, write it out. Likewise, maybe 4 new words and expressions. Let's double check. And the first one is ascertain. Sorry. Let the video tell us how to read it.
Ascertain.
Okay, I really made a mistake. Ascertain.
Ascertain. Ascertain.
Ascertain. Ascertain. So here, and the stress is on the 3rd syllable. Ascertain. Ascertain. Okay. This is ascertain. Ascertain, what does it mean? To find out the true or correct information about something. So this is the ascertain. Let's go ahead with another one. Is scriptures. Scripture, it means the holy books of a particular religion. Religion. Yeah, religion, right? Or religion, I think. Okay, check it out again.
Religion.
Yeah, religion. Okay. The holy books of a particular religion. The holy books of a particular religion. Yeah, we have many scriptures, right? In the, maybe from the Tang Destiny. I'm not sure. Okay, and the other one is content. The things that are contained in something. The things that are contained in something. So here, the content, what does it mean? The content in our mind and senses. So the content in our mind and the things, it means the things in our mind and senses. So that's it. Let's go ahead with pronunciation of the 3 new words, okay? Who would like to try to pronounce them and put them into the sentence? So who would like to try to read them, pronounce them? Hi, Grace, you please?
Yes, okay. Ascertain. 对吗 Ascertain.
Yes, 3遍每个东西 yes, 3 times.
Yeah, okay. Ascertain. Scripture. That right? Scripture. Content. 还是 content？
可能美式的读 content， 我们来 check 一下。Yes， 英式的读 content。那我写出来的这个音调，你就按英式读，因为这个音调在英语当中它会出现的。
Yes。
然后美式它就读 content， 美式更好放一点，就是更接近我们的口型。Content 就好发一些，这个是 content。Yes, that's correct. 好，我们再往后来一下。Content, yes. Okay, and so who would like to try more? Read them, please. Okay, how about you, Joy? Would you like to read these 3 new words?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Ascertain.
Yes.
Scripture. Content.
对，好厉害。
Content.
Yes, Joy 对这个字之间的那个省略很厉害，就是字之间的声音。这个我们一起听一下，它这个可好像是有浊化。
Scripture
就是要把它浊化一下。Scripture。可以感受到吗 ？Joy Scripture 就像 school 一样的，就我们不读 school 是读成 school 是一样的道理。Okay, perfect. Yeah, 这个 scripture. So how about you and Daisy? Are you available now to read it? And I have a question for you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, first one, the question. So What's the difference between scriptures and suture? But have you seen the scripture we've learned in just now?
The holy books of a particular religion. Suture means book. It means I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Sorry.
So have you found it? I just check it out for you. Okay.
A Buddhist or Jainist holy text.
Yeah, that's my question. I will put it here. What's the difference between this word?
Scripture is the scripture. It means holy books. And suture means a Buddhist text, holy text. Yeah. One is text, one is books.
Yes, yeah, right. One is content, you know, content. Content, you know, content. The other is books. Yeah, the difference is that.
Oh, yes.
Suture 的话 ，suture 就是指这种经，是非常抽象的东西啊。它就是指一种书，一种经典的经。但是有另外 scripture 是指经书的意思，可以理解啊，应该是比较好理解。Yes。所以我们在翻译的时候，到底是指经还是经书，这个要完全是要凭我们自己的这个上下文的意思，把它判断出来再用词。有的时候是说经书，有的时候是说经典。所以像 lotus suture， 我们就不要说 the scriptures of lotus。No. That's not in that way. So yeah, it's very famous. Yeah, it's very difficult to distinguish with them. Okay. Time for you to read the 3 words for us, please.
Okay. Ascertain. Scripture. Content.
Yes, perfect. And how about you, Jin? Is it convenient for you to read it?
是的，好。Ascertain. Scripture. Content.
Yes, perfect. Yeah. 这句当中，这3个单词都不简单。一个是 ascertain， 它的那个重音是在 ten 上面。我一直以为 ascertain， 我自己一直以为这样的。ascertain。第二个是 content， 它有明前动后的这个意思在里面。名词，这个我们做名词的时候是 content， 还有一个动词是什么意思呢 ？content。有动词的意思吧？我们来看看。那动词读 content 就是满足，使某某开心，使某某满足满意。content 和 content 是不一样的，所以
content
还有一个名词2个名词
content。
它有一个满意的这个名词的时候，它是读 content。它是一词多义，就类似于我们的多音词、多音字一样的。So that's it. Okay, I will know that content 就才是它的内容，包含之物的意思。好，我们一起来看看这个句子里面还有一个 likewise 我就直接的在这个句子里面去讲。likewise 它是有一点功能性的。它这个词不是我们不认识，是它的用法比较不熟悉。它是一个 adv， 是一个 adverb， 是一个就是类似于一个副词一样的，就是 also 的意思一样。In the same way， 你看 in a similar way，not same way 是 similar way， 差不多的意思吧，同样的类似的，所以它是一个副词性的东西。它放在这个开头来用， 这个有点难呢，我觉得这个用法我不是很熟悉。它的意思是 the same in the same way， in the same way that 那个 that 是可以省略的，所以我们就知道 in the same way that 它后面用的那个 that 是可以省略，是引导一个状语从句的。OK， 我们学一下第一条是第一条是 the same in the same way， 看一下它的例句，例句是非常重要的。He voted for the change and he expected his colleagues to do likewise. Likewise 也的意思。Yeah, to do in the same way. To do the same, to do in the same way, in a similar way. So that's it. And the second one is also. Also 但是它不是用在这个句首或者是句尾的，它是用在句中的。也含义，而且 he said her second marriage was likewise unhappy 这一群在婚姻中寻找幸福的人。her second marriage was likewise unhappy， 这个 likewise 有一点感觉就是 also 的意思，就是有点插入在中间，但是我们的这个更就是我们文档当中更接近于第一个。The same in a particular way， 它是一个 adv， 是引导一个句子的。你看 likewise in the future Kalama， 它读 Kalama 吧，好像这个随便读了。Kalama's future, the Buddha said that so here 这是一个副词，不是一个连词啊，他没有说 in a particular way that not that， 就是这个副词的功能，就是in a particular way， yeah, in a particular way the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, yeah, one must down all the traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all the content of one's mind and senses. So that's it. And yeah, this is a compound sentence. Yeah, it's a bit complex. It is a bit complex because in the future, the Buddha is the subject side is the predicate, and that is the predictive, not predictive, is the object clause. You know, object clause, and in the clause there is purpose used. Yeah, there's a purpose laid by in order to. Yeah, to describe the purpose. In order to is proposition phrase. In order to a certain truth. Yeah, so here one is the subject of the subordinate clause, is the object clause, and must down. This is the predicate. Yeah, compound predicate. All traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and senses. So the object of the subordinate is a bit long. Yeah, one is all traditions, and the other one is all scriptures and all teachings and all of the content of one's mind and senses. So having found that, yeah, 它这里是供了一个 all， 其实实际上它这说的是所有的这个传统的一些东西，以及所有的经典都需要去怀疑。它这里的怀疑是指，并不是说怀疑它坏了，怀疑它有问题，不是这个意思。它的这个怀疑的层面就是去发问，有问很多问题，为什么会是这样子？他没有搞明白。就是究其根本，究其源头，这个 doubt。 然后他这里还继续是 all teachings， 但是他省略了一个 all， 为了把后面的这个连接起来，他这个后面的 all 又给提出来了。到第4个 A B C and D 的时候把 all 提出来的，一个是更说明一下，就是还是包括全部。第二个是它的句式也换了，对不对？它的那个词组的样子也换了，不是它没有说 all contents of one's， 它的 all of the contents 是一样的意思，跟 all contents 是一样的 ，all of the content of one's mind and senses。但是这里的这个 content 是不可数的。我们一起来看看 content。content 一般的情况下是 all of the content。content 一般的是要可数，这里为什么用不可数？不可数的话，它一般的是指这种内容，类似于信息方面的内容。我们可以看得到，就网络信息，这个信息的 info 这种东西都不可数。这里不是指含量，是指类似于网络语言上的这个信息啊。但是这里的 content 它没有 all of the content， 你看到没有？它没有用 contents of one's mind and senses。为什么用不可数的这种 info 呢？是用信息，是因为脑子里的东西、脑海里的东西，就妄想中的东西，以及这个感官上的一些信息，根本没办法去数，它是一个抽象的。所以这个时候用这个类似于网络术语的 content 是不可数 all of the content， 所以它没有跟前面直接并列起来，前面的都是可数的，但这里是不可数，所以它把 all of the content 给拉出来，再次这样的表达，其实意思是一样的，这是一个可数不可数的一个并列关系。So 这第2条我不知道怎么写，就直接的用嘴巴去说出来，是这个不可数。content 是一个就原题。So that's the grammatic issue. Time for us to do the shadowing, okay?
Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all the content of one's mind and senses. Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all the content of one's mind and senses. Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra,
这个 Kalama 它全部是读阿的音，就是可以知道它没有按照英语的这个规则来读，有可能就是他们那里就是这样读的，就是那个梵语里面 Kalama 都是阿的音 Kalama。 Okay, let's go ahead.
Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all the content of one's mind and senses.
Yeah, this time let's find out the stressed words together, okay? 我们一起来把这个重读音节的单词找出来，这样我们好模仿。
Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all the content of one's mind and senses.
Okay, likewise in the Kalama Sutra, this is a sutra, right? Yeah, sutra means the Buddha said what? That in order to ascertain, this is the verb and the choose, ascertain the choose. 证实、证明、查出什么真理，查出什么事实。 ascertain the truth, one 是 somebody的意思 one must doubt that all tradition, scriptures, teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and senses. Let's double check, okay? Check them out.
Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all the content of one's mind and senses.
All of the content of 非常的弱 all of the content. So that's it. Time for us to shadow it. So who like to try to shadow it? 每个人读2遍，跟读2遍。
Okay, I will read it.
Okay, Daisy, I will play it for you.
Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all the content of one's mind and senses.
Try to do it, please.
Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and senses.
Yeah, one more time.
Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and senses.
Wow, genius. Yeah, you did so well.
Thank you.
Especially all of the content. Very weak. Yeah, you did it so well. Thank you. Let's go ahead. Who would like to be the next one? Okay, Grace, I like played for you, okay?
Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all the content of one's mind and senses.
You please.
Yes. Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scripture, teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and senses. Yes.
Yeah, one more time. Perfect. Yes.
Likewise, in Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all tradition, scripture, teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and senses.
Genius. Yes, you did so well. Thank you. How about you, Jin? Would you like to try?
Yeah, 好。Likewise in the
Yeah, you please directly.
Likewise in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scripture, teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and the senses.
Yes, perfect. One more time.
好. Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all scriptures, teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and senses.
Genius, yes. 这个 that 读轻一点就好了。
That
因为它是一个连词性的功能的东西，都没有实在意义，就把它弱读。
Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain
而且这个 that 不要放在这个 said 后面，它是要跟后面连接起来。Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to 就这样子 the in order to the 就 the 的音跟这个音发的是一样的。All right, thank you, Jin. You did so well. 基础太好了。好 Joy, would you like to try?
Yes.
Read it directly, okay?
Okay. Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and senses.
Okay, one more time. Convenient for you to
在背诵吗？
好，背诵。你可以再读一遍，再背也可以。
OK， 我再读一遍。Likewise, in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and senses.
Yes, perfect. Recite it, please.
Likewise, in the
OK， 好，那待会儿请你来背，看有什么。Daisy, is it possible for you to recite it?
Yes. I can recite it.
Okay.
Likewise, Likewise, in Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth, one must doubt all traditions, scriptures, and teachings, and all of the content of one's mind and senses.
Wow, yes, genius. That's it.
Thank you.
How about you, Joy? How about this time now? Can you recite it? Okay, likewise in the Kalama Sutra, the Buddha said that in order to ascertain the truth,